Hello and good evening to you. Well, it's been a while since I did something on the gold, and I think the last time I did something was the later part of July, where we were actually looking at a selling momentum on the gold. And I think let's try and see what is happening in the market at this point in time. If there is any opportunity that we can take advantage of going into the new week. So if we go up a little into the weekly time frame, let's see what we have there. So on the weekly time frame, the first thing I was able to identify here on the weekly time frame is that we have been on a very strong bullish momentum in the last 6 years. I think since 2016, we've been witnessing how price has consistently respected this bullish trend line. So the last time price respected this bullish trend line was sometime in May, and we can see the rise up into this area. And one interesting thing that happened as soon as price tested the $2,100 area, I think somewhere around there, we have seen that price has been caught within a consolidation phase right between the 2,100 and the 1,700 area. So we can see this move. And in the last couple of months now, we've seen multiple rejection of this area, which I identified around the $1,700 area, which is the demand zone for this channel. We have the supply zone here, and then we have the demand zone around this point. I think it's not clear. Okay, yeah. So we have the demand zone here, and we look at what happened since May 2020. We can see price has continued to respect this area. We saw the first touch here, and then during the course of the month of March 2021, we saw another retest. Then fast forward to August 2021, we saw another one here, and then another one in August 2021. And one interesting thing that is this here is that price has come back into that zone. We saw the first touch in the month of July, and right now we are seeing another touch at this point in time. Given this level a very strong area where participants are actually gathering to buy the gold against the dollar. So in this regard, because of this setup, we were able to identify this area as a demand zone. And if we go far again into the 2018, look at the dotted green line here. I was able to connect a series of higher lows here to identify this temporary bullish trend line. And you can see it lines up exactly with what we have in the last couple of months. So now going into the new week, there is two possibilities we are going to be looking at, that is based on what structure we have here on the weekly time frame. The first scenario is that, are we going to be seeing a situation where price is going to respect this demand zone one more time to push price to the upside? That is one scenario I want to be looking at. Or are we going to be seeing an outright breakdown of the demand zone, which also shares a confluence with this bullish trend line, with a retest of structure to send price into somewhere around the 1500 area, which lines exactly up with the bullish trend line we identified that has been holding price action in the last 6 years. So these are the views we want to be looking at this evening, and let's scale down to a much lower time frame to begin to see how things has been holding up in the last 5 to 6 months. Now, going into the daily time frame, the first thing I was able to observe is the structure we have here since the month of March. If we look at the structure, the last time price tested the supply zone, which we identified on the weekly time frame, was around month of March here. We saw the first touch. Then I was able to connect the lower highs here to identify this resultant bearish trend line, which was broken a little bit in the month of August. That is the first few days of the month of August was broken, but price came back right under that bearish trend line with a possible intention of a downtrend continuation. So because of that, now we were able to identify that bearish trend line with a major key level at the $1,800 area. You can see how that level has held price supported one time, supported here before the breakdown happened, in the month of July. Then price came back again to the 1,800 to respect it as a selling zone. So now with all the information we have gathered here on the daily time frame, and we relate it to what we have on the weekly time frame. Remember, we have our demand niche around the $1,700 where price action is, which also shares the confluence with that bullish trend line we were able to identify on the daily time frame. Remember, and right now, with this bearish trend line meeting up with this bullish trend line at this point, now this area is quite a very sensitive area we want to be looking at going into the new week. It's so sensitive that anything could actually happen from this point. We could have a breakdown that could lead price breaking down the demand zone, respect that bearish trend line to push price to the downside. That's one scenario. And then we could actually have a breakout of this bearish trend line here, hereby sending price, giving us a signal of a bullish momentum with a retest of structure to give us a confirmation to join the decline to the upside. So now going into the new week, how do we intend to trade this pair? So I was able to scale down to the 4 hours time frame. And what I saw on the 4 hours time frame, after looking at how price plays out during the last week, we can still see that price has been trending on the downside. And on the 4 hours time frame here, I was able to identify this resultant ascending channel. We can see how price has been respecting this channel since the beginning of the month of August. We saw the first touch here. Price came back into this area. And you can see price continued to find lower lows and lower highs. And since price tested this area, the demand, the support level of the descending channel, which also shares a confluence with the bullish trend line we identify on the daily time frame. Remember, sorry, on the weekly time frame, and right within the demand zone, we were able to identify on the daily time frame. We saw this rise in price action from this area. So, will this move evolve into a reversal pattern like a double bottom structure this week? Where we are going to be looking forward to a breakout of structure to give us further confirmation to join a rally to the upside. So these are the scenarios I want to be looking forward to this week. So now, to support my view of looking forward to a potential opportunity this week, I was able to identify this level at the $1,720 area, which has been a major determinant of price action during the course of last week trading session. If you see what I'm talking about here, this is where price started last week. Price started at around this $1,740 area, came back into the 1,720, came back into the $1,740 area. We saw a couple of rejection before the final breakdown retest of the $1,720 area, which took price right into the support level of the descending channel. So right now, going into the new week, I want to see how price is going to relate with this $1,720 level one more time. So this area now becomes an area I want to be looking at and during the earlier hours of this week. So are we going to be having a breakout of that level? That is the $1,720 level to give us a retest of structure that will be sending price to the upside, or are we going to see a reversal pattern right under it, probably a double top structure, or a head and shoulder pattern that will be sending price going to the downside? So I would like to pause the video here and let's see what happens during the early hours of the week, after which I will be sharing an update on how I plan to take a move for the week in the comment section of this video. If this video in any way has been of immense assistance in helping you make your individual decision on the gold for this week, please and please support this project by clicking on the like button. You would also want to follow me on my TradingView platform at Dark Sherry so that you don't miss out on the regular updates I normally share in the comment section of every video I put out here on TradingView. Thank you for watching this video and hoping to see you on Monday. Good night and bye bye.